So thank you for joining us tonight. It is convention time. Who's pumped?
Woohoo! Yes.
Yeah, awesome. It's a real month of inspiration and information that's gathered and shared. Not only is there exciting new products released, but and also some really cool insights as to what's in store for Australia as well. So it's a really exciting time, and it's a must attend event. So those who are coming, good on you because you're showing up, and that's half of what we do, right? We show up and we encourage others to come along and experience the magic of convention. And yeah, I can't wait to share it with you guys. So um, this is our agenda. I'm gonna ask Cherie to kick off straight off after monthly wrap, and then we'll go into our personal growth, which is the happiness advantage, principle 3, Tetris effect. And I'm going to talk a little bit about convention, what to expect, how to get the most out of it, because it is a pretty crazy, buzzy time. And then we'll just cover our incentives and events that are going on in May and open it up to you guys to ask any questions or make any additions. So to start off, our April monthly wrap, happy Easter to you all. I hope you all had some good time off with your family and friends, and you can hopefully didn't consume too much chocolate. I know I had to hit the slim and sassy, even though I got my healthy chocolate eggs, got my vegan eggs from Source. Still very decadent and loved every moment of them, but I'm so glad I got smart and sassy there to regulate the blood sugar levels. So who's loving the 20% off enrollment incentive? Are you guys finding that you're having a bit more interested in that and having people wanting to take that up rather than sit on the fence or continue to sit on the fence? Yep. Awesome. I think it comes at a really good time having this 20% off enrollment incentive, especially leading into convention as well. So here's our top enrollments for the month. We have a Dr. Jen, who I'm sure will be watching this back later on, who is doing fantastic work, and she enrolled 16 people in April just to kick things off, and just really excited to have a doctor on the team who's integrating the essential oils in with their practice and sharing the benefits of essential oils. So that's an exciting space to watch, and hopefully have Dr. Jen join us on one of these calls and collaborate on other opportunities as well. And of course, we had Turkan Jenk, Jill Ford, and Leona Appleby as well in our top enrollers list. And congratulations to Dr. Jen and Karen Pettit for rank advancing to Elite in April. So well done, guys. And I'm going to hand you over now to Cherie. And I'll go back to that previous slide. That should have been the other way around. Sorry about that, Cherie. Take it away. There's Max. I'll give Cherie a bit of an introduction, because some of you may not have met Cherie. She's our lovely upline who is from Coffs Harbour now. And we actually met Max at the markets 6 years ago now. 6 years ago in April that we met Max at your Monday markets, and Renee walked in about 2 stores deep and didn't move for about 3 hours, chatting to Max and experiencing peppermint essential oil, and then later on, after doing 2 laps, I was able to meet up with them and get to know Max a bit. Meet Max, and but we all know Max can talk, so I did get to know him pretty well. What do you reckon, Cherie?
Oh, yes. Yes, he's a good little chatter. He's not shy.
Absolutely.
No, he's very, very knowledgeable with the oils. He knows them like the back of his hand. He just rattles them off. He's always listening to find out what's the best oil to use.
And passionate as well.
Very passionate. Absolutely.
So Yeah, it gives me great pleasure to invite Cherie along to our business meeting this month. She always has such sage and wise support and advice to provide us and her team. We call Max and Cherie our doTERRA mum and dad. And yeah, they're your mum and dad too. So please shine the light for us, Cherie. Take it away.
It's a real buzz, to be honest. It's great. Yeah, I've had some really nice little downloads in the last couple of weeks. Just it's funny how things can come around again. And for me, when I first started, it'll be 9 years ago now, I was absolutely in love with the oils. You know, I had some pretty amazing first experiences, but the business side, I wasn't really quite sure about it. We got to Premier quite quickly because I think it was, I don't know, it was default or what it was, but everybody wanted the oils. You know, as soon as they smelt them, they said, yeah, look, you know, we want these, how do we get them? And it was quite exciting, even though that they didn't really know much and we didn't really know much in the time. So we got to Premier and we went to our very first convention. And I wasn't particularly fond on going to a convention because we didn't have them in Australia then, we had to go to America. And I just thought, oh, you know, like, what's that going to do for your business or yourself or whatever? But anyway, I went along and had no expectations and I was absolutely blown away at just the company's integrity, meeting the owners, started some incredible friendships, which we still have these 9 years down the track. We finally found out what was in those bottles, that they were just so much more powerful than we could ever imagine. And I'm just trying not to get too dark here on this. I don't know why it's going dark. Anyway, in those early days, there was only just a handful of us in Australia, and we used to have Justin Harrison, who is our #1 wellness advocate. And he would come over with Dr. Hill and Dave Sterling and, you know, speak to the cast of 20, whatever it was in the day. And one of the times he came over, he put up this screen and we watched this little video. And I was still umming and ahhing, do I, you know, want to just sort of share this occasionally or do I want to plunge in? Or because, you know, I didn't have a lot of computer skills and I've only got a little bit more now. But I had a lot of fear, basically, and had a lot of limiting beliefs, like, I mean, tons of them. And so I was just really, you know, putting my toe in. But after watching this video, it went for 9 minutes. I just sat there and I had an epiphany. It was a wow factor for me. It was a gem that I took into my heart and made a commitment to myself for the next several years. And what the little video talked about was about this man, little Chinese man, and he'd only heard about this particular bamboo that would sustain his family for 3 generations. And so he hadn't seen it. He just, by faith, he just thought, right, I'm going to try this. So he purchased these seeds, you know, planted them in the ground and just started watering them. And that was all that was required at the time, just to water these plants. So, you know, he was very excited and his friends were all excited at the beginning, like, you know, just see what was happening. So after 12 months, nothing was happening. And they all started thinking he was, you know, crazy and lost the plot. And all the mockers started coming and, you know, get a real job and all this type of thing. And in between this bamboo crop, he did have to plant other crops to keep his family going. So second year round, he says, oh, you know, just keep going with this and, you know, going to keep watering. So another year passes. So that's 2 years. And, you know, the townspeople, I think they kind of gave up at that stage and just called him the crazy man, you know, because, you know, there was nothing to show for all his hard work. So by this time it was sort of, you know, it's part of his lifestyle. So he, you know, kept watering. he started having some doubts on that third year and thought, well, you know, have I overwatered? Have I underwatered? Are they rotten? Are they dead? You know, he's starting to have all this doubt. But he was into such a pattern by this stage, it became like a bit of a meditation to him. So he was going down water, 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 and he just kept doing it. So, you know, third year comes along, fourth year comes along, still nothing. By this time, the town's forgotten about him. They just, you know, labelled him as a nutcase. And but he was, you know, he was into this. He was just thought, well, you know, I'll give it another year because it was sort of probably a bit time out. And he just kept watering these plants. Well, by the fifth year, there was still nothing to show. And he just, at that point, thought, do I continue going or do I stop? Like, you know, is this a fruitless thing? Anyway, this particular morning he woke up as he was pondering all these thoughts, but I think he'd made that decision that he was still going to keep going. And this particular morning he woke up and all the paddock was green. And he was just like speechless, really. You know, just for a few minutes anyway. Then he got out of the house and started running up the street, screaming and yelling and twirling and probably cartwheeling by this stage, telling the town, look, 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 come and see, come and see. So by the time that the town came and had, you know, seen the evidence, they were all just like, you know, gobsmacked. Now, in the next 6 weeks, it's only a very short time, from all that watering, these plants grew 90 feet tall, like 90 feet. So if you could imagine what was happening in those 5 years, in those 5 years, all that water and love and care and nurture was going into the root system of these plants to hold that structure up, that 90-foot tall bamboo tree. So everybody were in amazement. You know, you could actually see it grow before your eyes. It was that quick. And so they're all in, you know, like wow factor, like we're going to go and get our own now, knowing that they had 5 years. So after I had the tissues and the whole thing, because it was so emotional, I just thought, oh my gosh, this guy, he just kept at it, you know, against the mockers and his own doubt and his wife and the kids and, you know, everybody was down on him. But he kept going even through all of that. And the reward was sustainability for his family for 3 generations for many, many years. And then everybody cottoned onto it then. It's like, oh, we should have started 5 years ago. So at that point, I thought, right, I'm going to make a commitment, not to doTERRA, not to anyone, but to myself. I'm going to make a commitment for the next 5 years. And I'm going to do the things that is required, you know, because we, you know, heard that you've got to give out I think the sample bottles had just come in at that stage, giving out samples. Wow, what a fantastic thing that was. We didn't, you know, have to give away, you know, 5 ml bottles or anything. They were just these little drams, and do the follow-ups. And so we thought, well, okay, we'll just keep doing that and see how that goes. We kept it super, super simple, and we still do. You know, there's a lot of information out there. We are in an era of mass overdose of information, I believe. It does my head in. So I just like to keep things really simple, you know, just so people get it, because we're so busy and we're overloaded with stuff. You know, how much more do you need? We've got the guides. We've got amazing leaders like Byron and Renee and all your other team leaders, Tina. So we've just, you know, we've got a great support system. You know, it's only our mindsets that will slow us down. And just been reading this fantastic book called, and I was sharing this last night, Eat That Frog. And it's about procrastination. So it kind of goes hand in hand with all of this in some way. Of a list of, you know, say 10 things on a page that you have to do in a day, we usually do all the easy things first and leave maybe the last 2, the hard ones, till later. And then it comes 8 o'clock at night and you think, oh, 8 o'clock at night, it's probably a bit late now to do that, to ring that person or do that, whatever. So we'll do that tomorrow. And again, you know, the same cycle happens. So basically what I've read so far up to chapter 3 is 20% of activity, or those 2 things on your list out of 10, if you do those 2 hardest things first, you're going to get 80% more production of whatever it is. So, if it's sampling, if that's a bit of a frog for you, or the follow-up, just go do it. Just go and do it and see the miracles happen. And I just wrote down this, I'm not through the book yet, so I can't kind of keep going on and tell you exactly what the end is, but I love the beginning, and it's speaking to me about, because I'm a procrastinator, and it's nailed a few things for me. With this month of May too, I just thought, again, so, because we want to nail this procrastination, we don't want it ruling us, that 20% off the enrolment kits, this is the perfect time to contact your customers, the ones that maybe are not building or sharing, and just ask them for some referrals. Just say, look, I'm so excited this month. You've got your account, and you're using your oils, and I just love the opportunity for your family and friends to be able to have that experience, to have these oils in their home. And doTERRA are offering 20% off the kits this month. How amazing is that? So, do you have some referrals that I could call or contact? So going into your customer base would be probably one of those frogs that you could actually really tackle this month. It's non-threatening, it's quite exciting, and everybody loves a bargain and saving. So that's just something I thought of. And then the other thing is your 100 names list, and everyone, even myself, it's like, 100 names. People sort of go into a bit of panic. I don't know 100 people. But even if you only know 20, those 20 will know 20. So there becomes your 100 list, So get that out there, that's just a mindset thing. So start with 20, that's 20. And, it's just service people, after your family and friends, then all these people are doing creative things these days. It's amazing with the, just inviting people from your neighbourhood over for a barbecue or a soup night, or just to get to know the neighbours, basically. You don't have to sort of, launch out there with doTERRA straight away, but just say, this is your business and we have got lemongrass oil in our soup tonight or whatever. Just sort of really start to expand this creativity that lies within us, that little pockets might be dormant. We just want to get this out there and flying. And again, recently we've heard of this, what's it called? Sniff and Learn. So you just put it up in, what's the name of that thing? Buy, Sell, Swap, or one of those type of venues, or wherever you advertise, that you're going to be at such and such a cafe on a certain day, Thursday, make it from 10:30 till 11:30. Anyone who has heard of doTERRA but may not have smelt the oils, or may have heard of doTERRA and hasn't smelt rose or whatever oil, or would like to know how to do, how to prepare for winter with the essential oils and have a smell, have a sniff. And whether one turns up or none, it doesn't really matter. If you just sort of try it. I know some people are very successful with Spoil Yourself, but this one seems to be taken off. Like, it's just a non-threatening, just a very easy peasy. And if no one turns up, well, just take one of your motivation books to read, or do some follow-ups, which is great. So it's all win-win. So, and again, I'm sure Byron's gone right through, different people to contact, your service people, your sporting venues, groups in common, people that are into healthy lifestyles, pet clubs. And another really great thing is to, might sort of maybe know a single mum down the road who's got a couple of kids or something, or somewhere in your field of friendship. And you could lend them a diffuser for a week with some oils, pre-winter coming along, and just to see, the different changes, or if there's some behaviour, sort of issues or stress in the family. And that's a great non-threatening way to go and make friends, a deeper connection, and to really offer a service there. So it's just, I love that one. But you can also do that too with businesses. You can go into any kind of business with a diffuser. introduce yourself, what you do, and just say, in this workplace, I'm really passionate about wellness in the workplace, and would you like to, to have a diffuser for a week with this particular oil, and, find out, if it's stress or, lots of respiratory issues happening. So, yeah, these are some of the great ideas. We live in a world that kind of is 80-20. So, if we can do 20% of eat that frog, get the hard things done, we're going to get 80% of the results. So make that 5-year commitment to yourself. Even if you've been in it 5 years, just go another 5. Like, what else are you going to be doing in 5 years? And this is just a wonderful community, and you get to go to convention, which is life-changing, and I just absolutely love convention. It's a really exciting time of year where, we get together. I don't always get to see everybody, but I'd love to do the photo thing this year if we could get, Pure Oil's team together with Leonie's team and Annie's and Beth's team, and just all join together and get a big picture. I think you went across the road or something last time, didn't you, from the convention centre? There was a park or...
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so if we can coordinate a time and so we can check out, make sure everyone can
I think I've probably still got some pictures of showing people where to go and meet. So, okay. We could share it amongst all of our teams and go, right, let's meet here at this time. And then, and just, to be together as one, I think could be really powerful in itself, let alone the awesome souvenir photo that we get to take home at the end too. So,
no, that would be great. And so we can then forward it on to Pat, who is my upline. Or it's all our upline, actually. She's the grandmother.
Yeah.
She would love to see, because she has some health challenges, and it's difficult for her to come over to Australia. So that would be amazing. She would love that, to see all the new family members.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Wendy, Pat, there's such lovely people as well. Remember when we went there and when we first enrolled, I think we'd have an account for 5 months or something, and we hadn't enrolled anybody ourselves, but we went to America. It was a great idea. It's a good excuse to go to America, to go to convention, right? Yeah. And we went to the Chinese restaurant in what's the creek name in Salt Lake City?
Yeah. I can see it.
City Creek. Went there, which is the place to go when you're in Salt Lake City. And it's got some good history with Wendy and Pat, and of course yourself as well, Cherie, and really appreciate you sharing some insights. And one thing I've always shared and continue to share with everybody is keeping it simple. And there's great merit in that, because anybody can do that. Even us ourselves, we had flashy PowerPoint presentations, and I remember seeing Max and Cherie, and they were really inspiring for us, because they're like, well, if these old people can do it, then we could do it.
Do you know, this is the classic, Byron, because that time when we went over, when we were little premiers, and we were seeing all these people going down the red carpet in the day. Now it's purple, but it was red. And they were virtually all of them were over 60. It's like, yes, I'm not 60 yet. I'm over that now. But and the same thing. I thought, if these old people do it, I thought, I love it. They're not Models Eve, they're not like, the glamour pusses or anything like that. They were just like totally organic and just gorgeous. And they gave me hope. So it was a big trip, that trip. Not only did it was like, the wow factor convention, it was the turning point. And then that little video, the lessons from the Chinese band, you can go and Google it if you want to hear a monotone version. From this American guy. I don't know why they picked his voice, but anyway, I hope I did a bit better version.
Absolutely.
It was one of my major things to keep me where I am now. And I think, you know, it took me 3 years to unravel my limiting, not all of them, a lot of my limiting beliefs that I was worthy enough to receive wealth at a diamond level. So, you know, you have a notion in your head, oh, yes, I want to be a diamond and all that. But the step from there to when it actually happens, there's a lot of personal development along the way. Well, it was for me because I, you know, came from a really strong poverty mindset. You had to work a lot of hours to get the money, and, you know, not me. So, yeah, just to break those patterns or change them, and to just go, yeah, hey, bring it on, you know, like we, you know, to have that more than enough mindset, because we need it. We need to have enough for ourselves and enough to be able to give and accomplish the things that we need to do. You know, there's some pretty big goals out there that people want to do, and plus ourselves, you know, we're supporting a little, there's 45 orphans now in Sikkim in north of India. It's an organic state, but the kids, they were so unwell, they were so sick. There's a lot of epilepsy up there. And one of our beautiful wellness advocates, she's 72 in our team, her and a friend went hiking up there, 4-hour hike, you know, loaded up with all the oils 4 years ago. And they worked with these little kids for a week and got them from being so ill and so sick to, I think, 2 were just, you know, almost there on the mend. And each year we give oils, and my goal now is to give each child their own oil kit, like that they're fully equipped with their Easy Air and On Guard. And yeah, so we've been able to really support them, especially in the last 2 years, with so much oil, and they haven't been sick for 4 years. So, you know, your why does expand as you go on, and, you know, things come to you and you go, oh, and your heart just jumps and think, yeah, this is really great, you know. So that's why we need to be able to have that mindset of more than enough time, more than enough energy, more than enough, so we can do the things that we're meant to do, you know, and destiny calls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, you know, feel free to chat, or, you know, if there's time.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody wants to take themselves off mute and ask Cherie some questions, we'll also have an opportunity right at the end. But I did say to Cherie, I know she's a busy Blue Diamond leader, so I don't expect her to hang around for the whole length of the call. So fire away if you have those questions now. Otherwise, we'll move along. And you know, I just wanted to thank you again, Cherie, for being there for us, and you know, our doTERRA mum and dad, and providing all the support and inspiration through our journey as well. And it's you know, we're truly blessed to have such a good relationship with you guys. And you know, where we have become pretty independent these days, but you know, it's still great to lean and talk with your upline in some of those challenging times. So I really do encourage you guys to maintain that relationship with your upline. And you know, you'll have some challenging times with your downline and your upline, where you may not resonate with what they're doing or saying, but just know that it's definitely worthwhile keeping those channels of communication open with everybody, because there's always an opportunity to grow within yourself, and gain so much in each relationship that you make with the people that you come into contact with. So thank you so much, Cherie. And I really look forward to having that big team photo at convention. I will send you a picture that I sent last year of where we can all meet and get a big group photo.
That would be fantastic. That'd be really great. I'll pop that onto Team Limitless. Of course, you know, any of your team that would want to come along and check out what's happening in Team Limitless. It's Team Limitless You Create. We meet on a Monday, first Monday of the month, and a Zoom. So if anyone wants to jump on there and
do you want to share that link in our share build group as well?
Okay, I will do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep, so that would be great. And yeah, so thank you too for having me. And yeah, it's very exciting. We've been under reno here for a year, just over a year, and we've just started classes again, which is, yeah, it's really special. I've never been a DIY person really before, but that kind of has resurfaced again. Like, we'd sort of seen it over the time. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. People are doing stuff like that. I'm so glad that doTERRA's already done it all.
Oh, totally. Yeah. In the early days when we were buying everything from the US and there was no Australian literature and all that sort of stuff, it certainly is so much easier now. And Tracy's the same here. I'm so glad you did. You mentioned old people, and it's to no discredit to wise people. We should be saying they've just done more things than younger people, and they've learned more lessons than us, and they've got a lot more wisdom and lessons to share. And I think keeping it simple, like Cherie's and Max's message is, it just allows everybody to be able to access this abundance that doTERRA provides. You don't need to be an elite blogger with thousands of people following you, or I love Dave Sterling's saying that he shared at leadership last year, I believe it was, and I shared it with a training session that we did in New Zealand, and it was where ordinary people do extraordinary things, and that's something that he was saying about doTERRA, and I believe that is so true, and that rings true for me. I'm by no means anybody extraordinary. I just share these amazing oils and just the messenger, and yeah, it makes it a lot easier for us all to do that.
It does, because you can really weave it into life. Your doTERRA business, it doesn't become a burden. It doesn't become like a stress factor when you keep it simple. And just be yourself, like just be normal. And it's, you just practice the art of listening, because no matter where you are, there's someone's talking about something, and we know that we have a solution, whether health-wise or financial for them, or emotionally. So it's, just being out and about. I know, it's funny though, talking about the reno, we had a lot of tradies here. So I think all bar one of them have got accounts, which is really great. Yeah, just because they spent time here, and they were done. They were goners.
Yeah. Oh no, they're sitting ducks.
Yeah, they were. It's like, damn, we got one yet. He's my challenge. So but because it needs the oils. Everybody does. Like everyone needs the oils. Not everyone will do the business, but everyone needs those oils. And
we've had tradespeople who we've introduced the oils, and most of the time they're, oh yeah, my wife's really into that. And then we've done like a bit of a barter system where we've just gone, okay, well, instead of paying for the full price of the labor, then here's some oils that you can take over to your wife, and then let us know their contact details, their experience of oils, and we contact them. So any way that you can share the benefits of the oils, just get it out there, get out there and get active, like Cherie was saying.
Yeah, that's really great. And make that commitment to yourself for the next 5 years. Even if you've been in it 5 years, go another 5, and just be expectant, and because something wonderful is just about to break through. So,
I agree, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Cherie. You're welcome to stick around. I'm going to go back now to our previous slide, which is I've been encouraging everybody. Cherie, if you can tell me how I can really motivate my team how to read this goddamn book. It's a bit of a running joke from last month. Sean Acor, like I read this book. This book was given to me by Adam Berry, the general manager of doTERRA Australia. It was last year's convention, and I loved it. I thought it was great, and I listened to his audio. I've listened to it multiple times, and I love all the principles. I love how it's a marriage of science and spirituality. And it's all scientifically proven how just this, simple act of choice and how we emotionally approach life and different situations can be so hugely beneficial, to bring back the power to ourselves to be, okay, well, if I do this, then these are the results I'm going to get. And if you need to have the scientific proof and evidence, Sean Aker has examples of all the studies that have been done, being the happiness advantage dude. And I recently listened to a podcast of his with Oprah as well. So I'm a big fan. The audio's there. The PDF is there as well for you guys to read. I'm just going to keep on trucking along, and eventually you guys are going to go, yeah, maybe I should read that book or listen to the audio. Byron keeps on banging on about it. So the Tetris effect. This an example of this, and I'm really guilty of this in my previous role, being an IT specialist, and we do a lot of troubleshooting. So and a lot of professions actually, we're trained to have a critical analysis mindset where we're looking for faults. And that's how we're rewarded. Like a lot of tertiary degrees and qualifications, that's a large portion of what we do is we're fault finding. Doctors do it. I did it in IT, and I would constantly find faults in order to be able to solve them, obviously. But then when you bring it home to day-to-day life, my fault finding skills that I'd bring from work, and I'd start identifying faults in my family life, in others, and things like that. It soon became apparent to me once I was aware of it that it wasn't working in my favor at all to have this mindset outside of my troubleshooting space that I was employed to do, right? Like, people still need to have jobs and have these skills. But the premise of the Tetris effect is a study was done where they requested a bunch of uni students, of course, the best guinea pigs. If you, Sean Aker is constantly joking about this in his book. They're always willing to do anything for a buck. So these uni students are sitting ducks, just like the builders in Cherie's DIY. And they get these students to play Tetris for hours on end, for days on end, and then monitor their behavior afterwards. And what they found is that these people they had symptoms of insanity, pretty much, where they would go out into day-to-day life and they would start to identify just day-to-day objects in the supermarket as they're walking down the street, and trying to piece them together as if they were playing the Tetris game. So they'd walk down the city street and they'd see a big building and they'd go, wow, if I could just turn that on its side, and then it would just perfectly slot into this spot there. And so they would start to play the Tetris effect in their day-to-day life, pulling, and the same with things on the shelf in the supermarket. And this Tetris effect is how we are conditioning ourselves in the way we see things. So if we're always looking for the faults, trying to when we identify or just see the weeds in the rose garden, then we're only going to see the weeds, right? We're going to miss the roses completely when there's all these beautiful roses there. So a really good thing that we can do to start training our brains to see the good in everything and others is starting to practice more gratitude and just optimistic thinking as well. So, being the alchemist and turning a potentially a bad situation into a good one just purely through positive perspective, a positive outlook. Journaling things at the end of the day, 3 things that went well for you today. It requires you to scan throughout the day and find 3 things that went really well to find the positive in your day. So you'll find just with this shift from the negative fault finding mindset that we often find ourselves in day-to-day life, and shift it through to that positive mindset, then we start to become solution-based thinkers where no problem is too big. We've got a problem with our structure. We've got a problem with our relationships with our downline, perhaps, or perhaps people are complaining about a product. Then we can always look at the positive solution when we start to recondition our minds to look at things this way. So once again, I really encourage you guys to look at The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor. I've posted the links in our Share Build group. If you want, you can't find them, just PM me and just say, hey, Byron, I'd like to start reading that book or listening to the audio. I'll send you the link, and you're more than welcome to join me in my love affair with Shawn Achor's Happiness Advantage. So yeah, that's the Tetris effect. Pretty cool, huh?
Right.
So convention, what to expect and how to get the most out of it. So Cherie and I, we share a little bit about how we're excited about convention. We've been to a couple in our days, and even now it still provides inspiration and just a fresh energy when we come out of convention. It's a real surge in positive energy with the new product and the new connections, the team constantly growing. And fantastic information that's shared by some amazing presenters. So there's a lot going on. It is super busy. It's really exciting. I'd really encourage you to immerse yourself in all of the sessions in the actual convention. It can be really tempting to, perhaps sometimes get lost. And I've been guilty of this in the past where, get lost in updating the team and just, constantly taking pictures and posting them in my groups and things like that. And I'm not saying don't do that. Just, find that happy medium and the balance where you can really pay full attention and focus to the people who are presenting and absorb that. And, take your pictures of the slides, but then maybe wait till after the presentation so you don't miss anything to keep your team updated. Once again, it's a great opportunity to come together as our community and with other like-minded people from the greater community as well. So, we have our team dinners outside of convention. We'll also meet for lunch as well, which will start getting the wheels in motion I'll start a little chat group for everybody who's attending convention. And just so we can stay in touch with where people are going and what's going on. I highly recommend you get organised and plan what you definitely want to see before going to convention. You can download the convention guide from the website, doterra.com.au. Go to Our Advocates Events and Convention. In there is the convention guide. Once again, the staff have done a fantastic job at giving you a brief overview and a schedule of everything to expect. Print that out, highlight the things you definitely want to see. I found it, I was going to sort of go, all right, I definitely recommend going to see this, 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 and this in this short presentation. But I really found it hard to skip anything because it's all so good. So, but that is something that I do recommend doing, highlighting what you definitely don't want to miss, because maybe you want to go to Aroma Tools. Maybe you want to go and visit Izzy Spears over next to Aroma Tools this year at the Novotel. Maybe you also want to go and visit the Days for Girls and help prepare a hygiene kit on the Saturday as well. So register as early as possible. If you can do that on the day before, then do that. If not, then get there at 7 o'clock on Friday. 8 o'clock latest, I recommend, because it is bedlam. It's absolutely crazy. Excuse me. And you also need to arrive early for the best seats as well. Crazy early. If you want to be, up front, it can be quite tense when you're trying to save, say, a row of seats for people. If you can do that, then go for it. But it can get a bit narky. So that's just a word of warning, maybe pack six, six jumpers, 3 handbags, and 2 pairs of shoes to put on some seats. Just make it look really busy, and then people won't even ask. They'll just be like, well, okay, there's lots of cardigans there. Sweet. I'll leave them alone. Allocate and limit your time at merch. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here on this slide, and having a little bit of an inward laugh as well, because that can also get really crazy as well. Like, like road rage in Australia is rife. It's horrible. It turns, lovely driving Miss Daisy ladies, driving their 20-year-old Celica to church on a Sunday into crazy people, flipping birds and going wild. But it can get like this at merch. From what I've heard, it can get a little bit narky as well. So just limit your time at merch. Remember, this isn't the core of what convention is about. Yeah, there's some cool stuff there. Go and check it out. But don't be too upset if you miss out on the doTERRA branded yoga pants. I'll get some screen printed up for you, I promise, if you miss out. And that's, that you really want them. There's so much more better content to be getting while you're down there. So federal election is on Saturday, the 18th of May, if you haven't already figured that out. So it's a bit of a clash. I recommend going to an early voting centre. These are just some of our local ones, but you can check where your local one is by going to aec.gov.au/where and check out where you can go to an early voting centre. So recommend doing that rather than a postal vote, because you have to apply for a postal vote, and we all know that applications just add an extra step, which you don't need to do if you can get to one of your local pre-voting centres. So check out these presentations, all of them. Seriously, like I said, I went through that schedule, and all of the leaders in there are all super inspiring. They've got loads of information, valuable information that we can all benefit from. I can't wait to attend all of it. And then, you look at some of the exciting things as well with the expert panel, with aromatherapists and doctors, Nicole Stevens, who is just beautiful and intelligent all in one. And she always has fantastic sciencey stuff to share. So Carmen and Emily, I know you guys will love that. To have a fellow science lover there. And I know Jill will also enjoy that too, our science nerds in our team. And I love that too. So yeah, really, I'm really especially excited about the doctors and the expert panel. I feel like this is going to be a real transition for Australia to where we're moving from people who are just open to learning more about holistic health and natural therapies to really getting an oil in every home, because we have doctors and science and people, practitioners, doctors who are recommending and integrating this in with their practice. Prime Meridian. Let's bring that on. Let's bring that to Australia. I'm pumped. I really want to see that come to Australia. So come and dream with us, and download the convention app. Get off your phone, but get on your phone to get the convention app. This is coming, and it's going to give you a little bit more of an overview. If you're not a paper person, you're more of an app person, there's a convention app that's going to be coming with all the updates and everything. That's coming from doTERRA. It's not coming from me. No, I'm not making an app. I'm keeping it simple. I've listened to Cherie, and I'm not making an app. Oh, I keep banging on about this lifelong vitality, but it is back. And let's just continue to share the benefits of lifelong vitality, right? And use it ourselves. One thing I learnt when I was in Vietnam from Jodie Naylor is she actually enrolls most of her enrollments with lifelong vitality. She'll do a $35 enrollment and enroll people with lifelong vitality and she will look you straight in the eye and say, this is doTERRA's #1 product, and it helps with stress, energy, pain, and inflammation. I can guarantee you that everybody in the room that you are going to be talking to, whether it's one-on-one or in a class situation, has one of these 4 things that they are going to be dealing with. If they don't, they're not aware of themselves and their body and their health. And hey, maybe we can get some oils in them to make them aware. But she leads with lifelong vitality. I found that really interesting and inspiring. And given that it is our anchor product, like everybody is going to actually get more benefits. They're going to be able to experience the essential oils at a deeper level when they are using lifelong vitality. And for us, when we started using lifelong vitality, in Renee, we really noticed it early on because with the IBS and the inflammation, she often was questioned, when are you due? And she was around 24, 25 at the time, and still a virgin. No, just joking. Oh, she's going to kill me. Just as well she doesn't watch these business training videos. So back to serious business meeting hat. She had a lot of inflammation, and people would ask, when is it due? And when she started taking lifelong vitality, the alpha CRS, I believe, is what really brought down the inflammation for her. And that's when we really started seeing some major changes in her health with chronic fatigue and IBS. The peppermint that were introduced by Max and Cherie, that helped with the symptoms and it alleviated the pain, but it wasn't getting down to the root cause, or maybe not as fast as what lifelong vitality has and will do for yourself and others. So please do share it, stand proud by it, and just keep it simple when you're describing it. Stress, energy, pain, inflammation. It has essential oils in it, and it's all whole food, plant-based. That's all you need to say. Try it. Doesn't work, you get your money back 30 days. Done. You reckon you can do that? Yeah? Everyone's, yeah, I got a couple of nods. Yeah, I already do that. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you, Carmen. I can't see you all, but thank you. Awesome. So, Tracy's saying, yep, Tracy is the lifelong vitality advocate. Yeah, she doesn't go a day without it. It's hard. I react to it, so it's hard to share, but I try. Okay, that's cool. Hey, no, I appreciate your honesty, Emily, and to be completely transparent as well. I can't take alpha CRS. I just can't take it. Like I'm known as the concrete guts guy. I used to challenge coworkers to eat out of date food. Like we even created a little Facebook group out of it, where we would go take a picture and go, look how out of date this is. I dare you to eat it. And we're like, no problems. I'll eat that. But I can't take alpha CRS. I've spoken to Tori Parker, one of the physicians at doTERRA, and he said, just take Mito 2 Max. There's too many ingredients in alpha CRS to really narrow it down to one. So I take Mito 2 Max in place of lifelong vitality. And there's going to be other products as well. Just on that, there's going to be products. And recently, this did actually come up in one of our groups where someone was saying, I just don't like the smell of ylang ylang and perhaps some other oils, and why, what's the cause, what will it be, how can I cure myself, and just know that you don't have to love and use every single product. Everybody's different. You don't have to lather yourself in ylang ylang because there's an emotional root cause that you need to work through in order to start loving it and opening up your heart, and force other people to do that too. If you don't like it, then don't use it. And, if you just stick to, improving yourself constantly and raising more awareness within yourself, improving your diet, drinking lots of water and getting lots of rest and managing stress, then the likelihood of you actually being able to start embracing and using some of those products that perhaps you can't use then is going to increase. You're more likely to going to appreciate, love, and enjoy them if you just follow those simple things. And then sometimes, and I know in Emily's case, she reacts to a lot of things, and I'm always intrigued at how she can survive on chicken breast, but that's what she lives on. It's the truth. and bacon. But yeah, everyone's different, and yeah, that's good. That's what makes the world a beautiful place. So our May events and promos, you guys are probably very well aware of this. I'm just going to, just whisk over them. So we make sure we're all aware of them. Still got 20% off enrollment kits in May as well as April. Just be aware that this does decrease the PV amount as well. So when you're getting your fast start bonus for people that you enroll, it is going to be slightly less, but you're still getting their enrollment kit, right? Which is awesome. It's just the start of their adventure. There's also an incentive for sharing the oils. You're going to get rewarded with Buddha Wood, Roman Chamomile, and Melissa, which are very exquisite and exclusive in the doTERRA range. Well worth sharing. And like Cherie said, encouraging others to share the benefits of the essential oils. It doesn't mean they need to go into a full-blown business, but if they have some people to refer to you, great, that's excellent. You're just going to further your reach. Your 20 names list converts to 100 and then 1,000 in no time. If you just keep on inviting people to share the benefits of the essential oils. Obviously, we've got product of the month there, which is Aroma Touch, and we've got our wellness box, which is the seasonal wellness box, which is awesome. A great opportunity for people to for LRP ideas. And our major events, we don't have much going on at home apart from just, you can see in the background here, there's lots of clothes everywhere. Renee is sorting out baby clothes. Yep. So that's kind of our baby preparation space at the moment. Not really many events and classes going on in May for us outside of convention, given that Renee's water could break at any moment and that could get really messy. And I don't want you to be around when that happens. I know you've got the oils and all, but we have a midwife to help us there. And so I'm on a roll tonight. And, but in saying that, we do have the Central Coast Elite Retreat that we are getting somewhere with dates and times and locations and all that sort of stuff. And I'm going to be confirming that really, really, really soon. Hopefully at convention, I can give you that news and confirm it. For those of you who have tuned in tonight, we have gotten prices and availability at Crown Plaza and the Trojans and the Surf Life Saving Club. And what we're looking at doing so we can make it affordable for everybody to attend is to make it at the Surf Life Saving Club and all of the functions around it to be at the Surf Life Saving Club with our own, audio and visual equipment, once again, to keep the costs down. So more people can attend, more people can access it. But then being in Terrigal, there's going to be loads of accommodation options, including the Crown Plaza. So, looking at Friday the 16th, Saturday the 17th at this stage for Central Coast Elite Retreat. And this is a vote open to all teams as well. I'll be inviting some other teams at convention, including Jody and Mark Naylor, of who we partnered with last year, and we had some of our team go up to the Blue Mountains, and Jody extended the challenge to me to have it hosted on the Central Coast, of which we're doing. So I'm hoping that the greater community can join us, as well as the amazing leaders from our team as well. So is there any questions and additions from you guys? Please take yourself off mute and share the love. Some other things that I did want to share as well, just about Days for Girls. So I don't think I've shared this publicly yet because I still have to meet up with the local Days for Girls group. But I put in an application to match the amount of money raised by our local Days for Girls group, which are actually going to be the girls who are going to be running the convention, creating packaging down in Sydney. And doTERRA has agreed to match the amount of money raised in the lead up to their major fundraiser in July, their Christmas in July fundraiser, up to $10,000. So this is really cool and a great opportunity for us to be able to jump on board with our local Days for Girls group and really support them as much as we can. I'm looking at doing some form of female health education, whether that's online or in person. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to be talking with some of our team leaders on how we can best collaborate with them, and let's just get that money up to $10,000 for the local team, right? Because then that means they get $20,000. They're matched by doTERRA. This is really cool. The girls are just absolutely over the moon that doTERRA are able to do this for them. So stay tuned on that front as well. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in tonight and putting up with my rotten jokes. And I really look forward to seeing you guys at convention as well. We'll for our team dinner. We'll provide some more details. Like I said, we'll create a bit more of a chat group, and we'll stay in touch. Renee and I will be probably waddling around convention at a little bit more of a slower pace than you guys. But I'm going to be presenting on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So I've got the men's health workshop on Friday after lunch, and then Saturday last thing. So encourage your men to come along. Love to have you there for support. And on Sunday at Empowered Success, I'm going to be talking about goals as well. So really looking forward to that, and seeing you guys at convention too. So it's not long now. It's just over a week. How cool is that? Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. We love you. We love you all. And once again, thank you, Cherie, for joining us this evening. And we'll see you in Sydney soon. Cheers.
Bye. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Tracy.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.